Why the operation isn't over. Despite these significant blows, Masood Azhar, the founder and ideological leader of JEM, remains alive. He has publicly acknowledged the deaths of his family members but has not been located or neutralized. India views his continued survival as a major threat to national security. As a result, Indian Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has stated that Operation Sindoor is still active, and India will respond decisively if Pakistan escalates further. Operation Sindoor, launched by India in May 2025, marked one of the most significant military offensives against terrorist infrastructure across the border. Despite destroying major terror bases and eliminating over 100 militants, the operation is not yet complete. The primary reason is that the most wanted terrorist, Masood Azhar, remains alive and continues to pose a strategic threat. Azhar, founder of Jaish-e-Mohammed, JEM, has long been the ideological and operational head of many anti-India terror activities. Although India successfully killed his brother Abdul Rauf Azhar during the strike on Bahawalpur, the mastermind himself survived. Bahawalpur, located in Pakistan's Punjab province, was among the primary targets and was hit with high-precision strikes. Intelligence sources indicate that Masood Azhar had relocated days before the attack, likely tipped off by sympathetic insiders. This raises critical questions about how secure India's strike planning is from cross-border leaks. Azhar's continued existence symbolizes the survival of the terror leadership network in Pakistan. India considers his elimination a non-negotiable goal to ensure long-term national security. The government has declared that Operation Sindoor will not be deemed complete until Azhar is neutralized. Azhar's survival continues to inspire sleeper cells and radical youth in the region. His propaganda network, though disrupted, remains partly functional through encrypted apps and deep web forums. Indian defense analysts warn that his survival could lead to retaliatory attacks inside Indian territory. India's military and intelligence agencies are now tracking his movements more closely than ever before. The Inter-Services Intelligence, ISI, of Pakistan has allegedly increased protection around him. Pakistani media has largely blacked out coverage about his whereabouts or survival. Some unconfirmed reports suggest he may have been moved to a military safe house in Kotli, Poke. Kotli was another area hit by Indian strikes but not completely neutralized due to underground bunkers. The operation's incomplete success also lies in the fact that Let's Muridke base has suffered damage but was not entirely dismantled. Lashkar-e-Taiba, another Pakistan-based group, shares tactical and logistical partnerships with JEM. Their combined network has a footprint stretching from Kashmir to Afghanistan. Neutralizing one without the other leaves the threat matrix active. India's armed forces are aware of the necessity of multiple phases in this operation. Diplomatically, India is pushing global powers to label Azhar as a high-value target needing international pressure. China, a traditional barrier to UN resolutions against Azhar, is under scrutiny from Indian diplomats. The international community is beginning to acknowledge that Masood Azhar's presence undermines regional peace. India's operation has drawn parallels with the U.S. operation to kill Osama bin Laden. Public sentiment within India is strongly in favor of completing the mission, even if it means direct strikes. Politically, any pause in action without Azhar's elimination could be perceived as weakness. Opposition parties are also pressuring the government to ensure Azhar doesn't survive this chapter. Indian media channels continue to expose the hypocrisy of Pakistan's double game on terrorism. Ceasefire violations by Pakistan have increased after the strikes, indicating a retaliatory posture. Villages near the line of control remain under high alert, with civilian evacuations ongoing. Indian Air Force has maintained patrol missions to monitor any Pakistani counteroffensive. Meanwhile, Indian cyber units are also tracking online jihadist propaganda calling for revenge. The operation's scope has now unofficially expanded to include non-combat strategic goals, like isolating Pakistan diplomatically. Azhar's death would mark the symbolic end of one of the deadliest terror eras India has seen. Until that happens, India will treat the operation as active and ongoing. Operation Sindoor is not just a battle for security, but also a battle for justice, memory, and future peace. India is likely to continue its efforts to dismantle the leadership of terror groups like JEM and LTT. The operation's endgame appears tied to the elimination or capture of Masood Azhar himself. Until then, the region remains on high alert, with both nations exchanging artillery fire and accusing each other of ceasefire violations. Operation Sindoor has delivered significant blows to Pakistan-based terror networks, but its mission remains unfinished. As long as Masood Azhar, the mastermind behind decades of bloodshed, remains alive and shielded, India's objective of dismantling terrorism at its roots cannot be considered achieved. His survival is not just symbolic, it's operationally dangerous, keeping alive the networks, the ideology, and the threats that have long targeted India's peace and sovereignty. The operation has entered a critical phase where diplomacy, intelligence, and precision warfare must converge to end this chapter decisively. For India, it's not just about retribution. It's about ensuring that no terrorist, no matter how powerful or protected, escapes justice. Until Masood Azhar is brought down, Operation Sindoor will remain India's unfinished mission, a promise to its people and a warning to its enemies.